Last time out, we were trying to do our best and avoid relegation from the National League North. We avoided relegation, and we were considered the biggest underachievers because of the fact we were predicted to be 4th place, only finishing 20th place. I don't think that's my fault personally, but that's just me. But we're looking at the other leagues and seeing who's gone up, who's gone down. I thought it was interesting to see who's won what. Turns out Everton have won the Carabao Cup, Liverpool have won the Community Shield, the Papa John's was won by Barnsley, Gateshead won the FA Trophy, and Notts County won the Vanarama National North, League 2 was won by Sutton United, Ipswich won League 1, and Sunderland won the Championship. Liverpool won the Premier League, and it was interesting to study these who finished where. As for European qualification and what happened last year, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea in the Champions League. Man United and Aston Villa are in the Europa League. Man United because they won the FA Cup. Aston Villa because they finished in 5th place. Everton in the Conference League because they won the League Cup. As for what all the teams did in Europe, well, Tottenham were knocked out of the group stage of the Champions League. Liverpool knocked out by Bayern Munich in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. West Ham got knocked out of the quarterfinal of the Conference League by Nice. Man United got knocked out of the Europa League quarterfinal by Benfica. Man City got knocked out of the semi-final of the Champions League by Real Madrid. Tottenham got knocked out by Arsenal in the Europa League, and Arsenal lost to Benfica in the final, while Chelsea were beaten in the Champions League final by Real Madrid. It's one of those things. I don't look at the screen often, but I thought it was interesting to study these, what we could find. We're now the 25th of June. Have I made any more transfers so far? To answer the question, yes. We are officially signing Kean Flanagan. At the end of his contract, he's not getting paid at £700 a week. He's getting paid about £350 or £400 a week. I can't actually remember the exact amount, but I know it was not that much. So he's signing for us on a free transfer at the end of his contract. And I'm happy we got him because he, I think, will complete the midfield at this point. So far, I've only got 9 people officially signed on for next year. I have actually tried to approach Ted Cam because I can. And he's not interested. He doesn't think we're big enough to match his ambitions anymore, which is a shame. But I couldn't really approach him until recently, so it's not my fault. Bradshaw, despite being really good and a leading player for the division, I can't go for because it's just think that they need to test him in a different environment, which is fair. Shrimpton is the same thing with Scunthorpe, which is a bit bizarre since Scunthorpe aren't doing that great. And you'd think that being a National League team that might want to use him next year, but apparently not. DeMarco Burton, we had the same problem. He's actually a leading player for this division we're in, but Derby want him to be tested in another environment again. So the 3 players that we could get on loan next year don't want to talk to us. Rooney, I have decided to let go in his contract. He's 35 years of age, and I just told him he's not going to be having his contract renewed. He was already exploring his options at the end of his contract anyway. So I just decided to push him off while I could. I've done the same thing to George Carline. I didn't want to pay the £600 a week anymore. And I've got 2 right backs who can pretty much replace him at ease. And they're almost half his age, which is a bit damning on him, but okay. Keon Jones, I am thinking of letting go at the end of his contract. I think he's not really what I'm looking for right now. I could give him a new contract. And I'll see if he does actually stay on, but I actually listed him for transfer, so if anything, yeah, I already told him he's going to be gone anyway, so £300 further off the books. Jeff Putz is also getting let go. He's not good enough for what I'm looking for. I've had offers for Yusuf right now, and I've rejected most of them. I'm actually going to offer him a contract. He wants emergency backup. Okay, I can work with that. So Yusuf is going to get an emergency backup for £180 a week, and I could just send him out on loan away if I wanted to. Callum Stead, I think he's only going to be a backup for the players that we're bringing in, if we can bring them in, which is the issue. Lopez definitely is a backup for next year. I hope he realizes that when I try to offer him a contract, because, oh good lord, he wants to be a regular starter. No. How much does he want? Okay, 200 for use for him. Stead, how much do you want? Oh no, he doesn't want to talk to me. That's fine. I forgot about that. Lopez and Yusuf are getting new contracts. They're on the same money as before. I will absolutely take down his demands as soon as we get players in, no, because he'll realise that he's not good enough, and once he does, we'll be fine. That being said, we've already sold Cosmos Madrasa. He's gone to Kirsten Lassen, who have been relegated, so he's not in the playable league anymore. As to Warby has gone to Southport as a backup, which, let's be honest, isn't a shock. And Jordan Hamilton left us to go to Haringey, so that was awkward. I kind of wanted to give him a contract, but I decided against it. And then I look at this and I realise might have been a good call not to go for that, because I'm not paying £525 for a player that is my first choice. How are they even paying him that is my question. He's not even their best player. This guy is. How do you have this much money? In other news, Megan Reid did officially sign. We confirmed that last summer, but it's actually confirmed now, so happy days. A player that I am looking at signing, though, is James Blansfield. Now, I haven't fully scouted him yet, but he looks like a good player, and he looks like a player that is going to be a leading player for this division. He is 25, so he's a bit on the older side for what we've been looking at, but as a deep line playmaker, I think he's going to be quite good. We just need to make sure he's absolutely what I'm looking for, and that if we offer him a new deal, he won't ask for extortionate amount of money. I don't like giving up a lot of money. But yeah, Jimmy Sanders-White, I don't know about him. He's 29. He's not that quick. And apparently he is going to want... Well, we actually don't know how much he'll want, but it's one of those things where I think that he could be okay, but he's got a few cons I'm not a fan of, and I'm going to wait and see what happens next. But we're going to go to the director of football now, and we are going to ask for some suggestions since, you know, I can ask for these now. And we are going to just see what he says, and Dan Lincoln is one of those suggestions. I did actually go in for him, but he wanted too much money for his current ability, and I thought better of it, so there's that. Dan Wilkes, I have no idea about, but he's one of my Stevenage, Kilmarnock and Salford, so he's probably out of my range if I'm honest with you. But yeah, we're going to keep using the director of football, Ben Holmes, as an idea of where we can find players, and we're going to use the scouts to see who else we could bring in the meantime, so I'll be back for the 1st of July, I think. What I really should be doing, though, is actually keeping you guys up to date with the available jobs, since I will be moved around in this save, and right now, there isn't anything that I could go for. Like, there are some interesting jobs, like Dimo Kiev I would definitely go for if I had the opportunity. Same with Shakhtar Donetsk, but I can't really go for the big jobs right now, so I kind of have to stick around to my current licensing and what I'm stuck with. And if I was to be going for teams that were around my level, I'd have to go to 1-star jobs, half-star jobs right now because of my reputation being so poor. That being said, we've actually got a National C license now. We're studying for the National B license, but I am hoping that once we get the National B license, we can build our reputation up a bit more, and that what we had at the beginning of the season was not a problem that's going to cause me too many issues long term, I think. But yeah, it's one of those things. I need to be careful about it. Also, we've still got the board takeover. That hasn't happened yet. They actually rejected someone at one point because it wasn't that good, and it says a lot. Also, the fact they're saying that £300 a week for Alfie McNally is too much is a little alarming, and now he's considered a good player for this division, which, given he's expected to have potential to be a League One goalkeeper in the future, I'm not sure if that's alarming or not, but I don't know. It's one of those things we just need to think about in the future. But what isn't off the table is these players that are in my list of scouted players, because we've scouted in the past, one way or the other, because I wanted to go back to players I want to go to in the past. I could go back to the likes of Dean Woodman. Now, he's only getting paid £275 a week, which means he could be good. He's also available for loan from Colchester, who he signed for. So, if I wanted to, I could make an offer, and they only want me to pay 70% of his wages. I am considering it because we know him, he was good last year, and it was useful. The fact that we can only have 6 long-term loans is annoying, but yeah, that's a thing. We can only sign 2 players from the same club, which is again annoying. I did try to get the board to allow me to have a senior affiliate. They said no, which is annoying, but what can you do? Also, you're going to actually notice some names that you'll recognize. And in the end, we didn't get He Shen Yu. He went to Kidderminster Harriers because they paid him 1.2 grand a week. To be completely blunt, I can't blame him. I would go for that too, if I was honest with you. They're in the same division as us, so it's kind of annoying. But he's their key player now, so congrats. Also, this is the guy I actually went for, and we had agreed terms We just had a problem with the work permit because he's French and he's got no youth caps, and we couldn't get the work permit thing to be sorted out. I didn't want to appeal and spend another 20 grand on it. I don't think I could have ever got this guy, but it is what it is. We wasted money on him. He went and signed for a club in France anyway. So there you go. That's his second team, apparently. That's the second club he's gone to since he left West Brom. West Brom, the reason I had hope. And I cursed him for it. So Martin Woods actually did retire in the end, after I kind of dropped him for half the season. He's now a scout, with knowledge of both England and Scotland. Yeah, the less I say about this guy, the better I think as far as I'm concerned. We did not get along. And now we're apparently the 4th best team in the division, and Let is actually the best left back. How do I feel about this? Do I feel like I should be concerned? Okay, he's really good for this division, but I didn't think he'd be in the mid-room 11. Should I be concerned by this or not? Admittedly, he's the only one of my players in the mid-room 11, but that's still bizarre to me that he's that good in the eyes of the media. And that's just me being honest about it. So, we're back on the 12th of August. I've got my National B license. I look quite good as a manager at the moment, which is a bit bizarre to say the least, but it's happening. I'm also studying for the National A license right now, and we made a load more signings that I think we should talk about, first and foremost. But the first thing that happened was Weird Liam left us for Cray Wanderers. He's on a non-contract on a star player deal, but still, he's on a non-contract, so if I wanted to pick him up again, I honestly could. Though, given how he did for me, I don't think I want to. Especially when we've got the likes of Jack Byrne as part of our team now. He's being paid just £350 a week, and he's on a 2-year deal. According to our backroom staff, he's a leading player for this division. I think he's better, personally, and that's just me. And he's exactly the kind of player we were looking for when we started this rebuild, and I'm very excited to see what we can do with him. I don't know how long he'll be with us, because I could see him wanting to leave us if we don't get promoted this year, or change for the players, but he's quite good. He was at Kidderminster Harriers last year, and he got 4 goals and 5 assists in 39 matches. Admittedly, probably wasn't his best season, but as far as I'm concerned, he could be a good signing for us. And then I got another goalkeeper, Tom McCauley. He wants to be an important player. I think he's probably best in the other goalkeeper we have. I think he's good. If you compare him to Alfie McNally, I can see why both keepers could be very good. The fact that we're paying them just £300 and £350 a week is useful. The question is, are they what I'm looking for? I like to think that yes, Tom is what I'm looking for, but also Alfie could be good. I'm probably going to upset one of the 2 players at some point in the future, but if one player starts performing badly, I could just replace him with a different player, which is great. And it gives me leeway. And then we signed Lennon Peak to be the backup to Byrne, and he knows he's not going to be a starter because he's a squad player, and he accepted the role, so happy days, we got him. He is apparently also a good player for this division, who could be a National League player in the future. Byrne can be better than that, and yeah, there's a reason why we're very excited for what we have right now. And then we signed Oliver Green to be a DM, even though he's definitely a centre midfielder first and foremost, but yeah, DM, I'm going to use him as a deep line playmaker. I think he can do the role quite well. Whether or not we can actually get him to do as well as I hope he could, I don't know. But he was at Spennymoor last year on loan, got released by Hull. He got 8 assists last year and a Player of the Match award. So I'm looking at that and thinking he's definitely a playmaker. Given he got 8 assists in 33 matches last year, got a Player of the Match awards and an average rating of almost 7, I think he could be quite good for us. He was at Spennymoor last year. I think he played against us and was part of the team that beat us. But while he's very good as a ball-winning midfielder, I know that he can absolutely be a playmaker as well. So I'm happy with what I've got here. Then I managed to convince Josh Ashman to sign for us on a permanent deal for 2 years on a squad player. Yes, he's being paid £350 a week, but very consistent, driven personality, and is a leading player for this division. A 3-star player is a leading player for this division in centre-back. He was at Gloucester last year on loan, and while he didn't have the best of times, he's not going to be starting for me. So I'm looking at that and thinking, well, we've got better cover this year. he's just a bit slow and isn't very tall, which is probably part of the reason why he struggled last year. But it's great because we got Zach Bradshaw back on loan from Ipswich. The only person I can get back on loan from last year, only this time I'm not paying a single penny for his services, and it's wonderful, isn't it? Oh, it's good. A leading player for Ipswich again. Yes, he's inconsistent. Yes, he needs work on his first touch. And yes, he's not the fastest, but we're paying nothing for his services for the year. So, as far as I'm concerned, we could utilise that. And admittedly, yes, he wasn't the best in the average ratings, but I think when we were joining up last year, he wasn't having the best of times. We kind of gave him some first in football. We gave him more first in football this year. I think he can thrive, personally. I then sold Reece Macy to Grays Athletic, and the reason I sold him was the inconsistency. And that's literally the main reason. Also, he was on loan last year, and I wasn't really going to be able to use him this year because of all the players I brought in. The players I brought in are quite good. Then we signed Zarian Osha-Tyro. Now, I've already got 2 right backs who are quite good. I did need another one, especially one when I'm using a wingback on support, has only got 1 dribbling and 3 off the ball. I kind of regret getting this signature done already, I'm going to be honest with you, but he is doing well in training. I'm already getting him to work on his ball control, so hopefully this won't come back to bite me. He's got pace, and yeah, he's good. Really, really good. I just hope he does really well for me, and I'm not going to be let down. He's got potential to be a League 2 right back in the future, so if he reaches that kind of potential, I'm happy. But then we got the main piece, the final piece to my first team in Daniel Brummel. I've been looking at this guy for a couple of months at this point, and he was on trial with me from Rochdale before, and I was looking to sign him. They weren't willing to sell for anything less than 24 grand or 4 grand. I didn't want to pay a single penny for him, so I waited and waited. And then I signed him, and he's got potential to be a decent League 2 right winger. I'm using him on the left, and I think he's better on the left. Yes, he doesn't like big matches. Yes, he's inconsistent, but we're paying just £275 a week, and he's on a 3-year deal. So, if things do go badly, we could just sell him for money. He's a regular starter as well, and he fits the puzzle. He completes the puzzle for my tactic for next year. Unfortunately, some casualties did come. Shepherd wanted to leave after I bought Green, and yeah, he was upset with the fact he felt he was being replaced. I wasn't replacing him, but then I decided to sell him anyway, and Torquay came in and actually paid £1,000. So it's money, not a lot of money, but it's still money for away. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I did want to keep him. I gave him a contract in the summer, but then he decided to be upset and move on anyway. So it's unfortunate, but what can you do? But then I couldn't help myself, and I bought another midfielder. Ferdinand Oko is now our 3rd centre midfielder we bought in the summer, 4th if you include Green. And oh wow, we are stacked in midfield now. This guy, I think, can be a star for us. If he's not Mazzala, he's a playmaker. If he's not a playmaker, he's a box-to-box. I really like the look of this guy, and I think he can be so good for us. And he's only 19. He is a leading player for his division and can be a League 2 player in the future as well. Potential is the key. How good he is in the first team is also the key. And the fact he was let go from Dorchester, I think. No, he's on loan from Dorchester. The fact he was let go by Bournemouth in the summer is not ideal for him. But their loss is my gain, and I'm not going to complain. The fact he was on loan at Dorchester last year, got 2 goals and 5 assists last year at a 7.2 average rating. And I had him in trial, and I looked at him and I said to myself, he's quite good. We should get him in. And we did. So he's here now. After keeping Fabio Lopez, I've sent him on loan because he was upset with the fact I kept on dropping him from regular football. So I don't see this guy as a regular starter for me. He thinks he's a regular starter. And I'm going to say to you here now, he's a decent player for his division according to backroom staff. With the likes of Peak ahead of him, Peak is my backup. What hope does Lopez have? And then you look at Jack Byrne, and again you wonder, how on earth is Lopez, who's my 3rd choice on paper, expects to be getting into the first team as the #1 choice. I don't see it myself, but apparently he thought that highly of himself and I said no. And he got upset, so I let him go out on loan. So as things stand, this is my main team, my best team on paper. And you got Manali, Thalasse, Dean, Bradshaw, Let, Green, Rio, Oko, Byrne, Brummel, Williams as my main team. And I personally think this is my best team I can field and I can put out. Dean can be replaced by Ashman every now and again. Thalasse has got 2 players that can come in. Like, I'll say Tyro, for example, being one of those players that can come in if we decide to go down that route. And we got plenty of options for tinkering and changing if a player decides to not perform. If Let decides to do a bad game, we got O'Farrell who can come in. The only problem I have right now is I don't have a great option for the DM position, but I put an offer in for Tom Smith, and the main reason for that is so he can cover in the DM position. I know it's not his best role, but I had a try, though I might not even get him since Solihull Moors, Halifax Town and Kings Lynn are all looking to get him as well. But yeah, with the midfield, we've got plenty of options as well. We've got Duncan, we've got Flanagan, we've got Graham if we want to go down that route. Even though Farrell can go in that role. In the right wings, we've got Byrne and Peake. Even Duncan. We got Brummel, and we can just put Stead in here, who's still here. And Yusuf. And even up front, we can just put Stead up there. So Stead's kind of the player that covers up a lot of positions if we need to be. And if Minardi comes and has a bad game, we've got 2 players that can come in and replace him. I want a strength in depth. I've got that now. Apart from maybe centre-back, which is weird to say the least, but I think I need to get another centre-back. And I might need to get another striker and another DM. But those are the 3 areas I think I need to cover. If I get areas in those 3 positions, then we should be good. And that's just me. That being said, apparently Prince Henry could be someone I could bring him on loan. And I don't know how much they want me to pay for him, but Prince Henry, would he be a starter actually instead? So let's compare him to Williams. I think we might have a cause to reasoning to believe that we can bring Prince Henry in. How much do they want me to pay for his loan? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's a no-brainer. Instead of a poach, I want an advanced forward though. Yeah, we could do that. Prince Henry, offer made. So again, we could bring him in. Prince Henry and Williams. Williams can also play as a right back, which is bizarre, and a right winger, so we got that option there. As to what our signings have done for our season preview, we are now predictably in 3rd place, so clearly the media think we've got a good squad now, and we should be doing quite well for ourselves, I hope. Either way though, I am going to end this here. What do you think of the signs we've made for this transfer window? What do you think of the squad overall? And do you think we should be challenging for promotion this year? Or should I be lowering my expectations to a top half finish? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of that down below. But either way, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.